Guys, bear with me for a minute while I set this up, in which I don't know why this keeps wanting to stream the long way, but it doesn't make any sense at all to me. That's okay. That is okay. I hate having to fix it, but that's all right. You know, we'll deal with it. Trust me, we will. We will deal with it. We will deal with it, guys. And I will figure this out in the long run. Okay? So, guys, and welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, we're back. It is still officially beat the heck out of Notre Dame week. I told you guys that I will be coming back with a couple of things, okay? Guys, this is going to irritate me, so please give me a minute on this. I do not like how the way this is kind of set up crooked and odd, you know. This looks very, very strange. So I don't want it to be set up all odd and over the place, okay? So guys, forgive me on that one, all right? Still kind of looks crooked, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and deal with this. That angle is just throwing me off. It really is. It's just throwing me off. So that one there, so that looks more straight, all right? Yes, I know you guys can't really, like see the A&M sign in there, in which, like I say, you guys got to give me a little bit. Reason being because I'm just getting back in the groove of things. But that's all right, guys. That's okay. That is okay. All right, so guys, we're back. We're back for day number 2, right? Beat the heck out of Notre Dame week. And I told you guys that I was going to come back, all right? And if you notice, I put the speaker down just a little bit low. I noticed on yesterday, guys, nobody told me this, but I was pretty loud on there, or at least in my opinion, when I heard it, the audio was pretty loud. I don't want the audio to be too loud, to where it sounds like I'm just screaming on everything. Because that's what it basically sounds like. But guys, the quarterback battle between Connor and that Notre Dame defense, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So number 1, I've heard all the talk, just like I told you guys on yesterday. This Notre Dame defense is legendary. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and just like I said on yesterday, I do not know anybody like that on the Notre Dame defense. I'm sorry, but I just don't know anybody on that Notre Dame defense like that. Now, will I keep on continuously do my research? Yes, I will. Why? Because I'm hearing that it's a couple of first rounders, or it could be a couple of first rounders on that Notre Dame defense. Me personally, I want to see. And I've heard that they have at least one at that cornerback position. All right. So that's going to be a real challenge there, man. So what does that mean? That means 2 things. That offensive line has to step up for Connor Weigman. All right. They have to give him time. They have to give him time to pick his poison. Right? If that happens, if Connor gets out there, he picks his poison, and he just rolls, that further lets me know that Connor's going to be a problem, man. He's going to be a real serious problem for not only the SEC, but all of college football. Okay? This is what Connor did with no offensive line on last year. And Connor has had some pretty good stats over the years, in which a lot of people are going to overlook, right? Because of the simple fact of that he hasn't played that much. He just has not. But he has experience. Connor has experience, okay? Just like Riley Leonard has experience. But this is Connor's 2023 stats, period. And we're gonna pretty much talk about it, okay? This is Connor's 2023 stats. 979 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a QBR of 87.2. Now, I understand he only played, if I'm looking at it correctly, 4 games in which I guess you can't really count that Auburn game, but you can count it as like 3.5 games. That's all he played. He played 3.5 games. Right? Connor has only thrown 2 interceptions over his entire college career. Regardless if he hasn't had that many starts or not, he's only thrown 2 interceptions. Think about what I just said. He had 8 touchdowns last year. Now, don't get me wrong. All the competition that he went up against, they weren't top 10. Guys, I know this. You all know that. But Connor was efficient. He was very efficient. All right? He went up against a Miami defense in which I'm hearing now that's very, very talented. I'm also hearing that Miami should have one of the best defenses in the league. They're one of the more talented teams. Connor faced them on last year. I suppose when they were just getting started, right? Because they did beat Texas A&M. And they beat them pretty heavily at a certain point. They did. That was the only game where Connor threw 2 interceptions. He threw one on a slip down from Anaya Smith, and he threw one on pretty much when the game was pretty much out of reach and out of hands, right? But these are the stats. These are Connor's stats for 2023. Against New Mexico, right, which isn't no competition, I get that part. 18 completions out of 23 attempts, 236 yards, 78.3 completion percentage, 10.3 average, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 35 for the longest. Sacked 1 time in that game, right? Had a QBR of 96.7. 96.7. This is in 2023. Against Miami, in which they lost that game 48-33. Connor had 31 attempts out of 53 passes, 336 yards, 58.5 completion percentage, 6.3 average, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 44 the longest, sacked 0 times. QBR once again, 85.1. Guys, if that's not good, then I don't know what is. The completion percentage, right? He threw about 58.5%. You would like to see that better, right? I understand that part. But he threw 53 attempts, completed 31 of them. I don't understand what you want from him out of that game, right? So we keep on going. Against ULM, in which he got taken out the game very early. 25 completions out of 29 attempts. 25 out of 29. If that ain't efficient, I don't know what is. I can care less about what team he's going up against. If that ain't efficient, then I don't know what is. 25 out of 20. And think about it, and this is in a Bobby Petrino's / Jimbo's offense. If that ain't efficient, then I don't know what is. I really, really don't. I don't at this point. 25 out of 29, 337 yards, 86.2 completion percentage. The teams that won over 10 games in 2023, some of those teams played against some bad teams. Not one of them put up with such and such attempts and missed 4 to 5 of them. Please give me somebody that done that. I'll wait. I'll wait. That's all that I'm getting at. That's all that I'm getting at. 86.2 completion percentage, 11.6 average. 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He was sacked 1 time in this game with a 97.1 QBR rating. At one point, Connor was the top 10 quarterback in all of college football for QBR rating. I have a feeling that we're going to see that same thing this year. We're going to see exactly the same thing, right? And this is the last game against Auburn, in which the game he got hurt for the season. 8 out of 14. 70 yards, 57.1% completion percentage, 5 yards average. Sacked one time with a 22.6 QBR rate. For whatever reason, his kryptonite has been Auburn so far. Even in his freshman year when he was out there starting, in which they lost out there, Jordan Hare, that was his kryptonite game. All other games have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. In a small percentage. So now I'm going to give you the 2022 stats. And this, but before I do that, this is Connor, the entire little starts that he had in 2023 season total. 82 completions out of 119 attempts with a 68.9 completion percentage. 979 yards, 8.2 average, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A rating of 156.8. His freshman season, 73 completions out of 132 attempts with a 55.3 completion percentage, 896 yards, 6.8 average, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Final rating, 132.3. All in all, Connor Weigman, through his entire Texas A&M career, has 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Understand what you guys are telling me. Jay, that was all last year, and that was in 2022 too. Understand that. But don't you guys come with the same stats for guys like Quinn Ewers, guys like Raleigh Leonard, guys like Carson Beck, right? Guys like Kate Clemson, right? Don't you, Shedeur Sanders, right? Don't you guys come with those stats? What wows you about those stats when you look at Connor Weigman? If Connor wouldn't, I'm tired of saying this, if Connor wouldn't have got hurt, you still would be looking at Jimbo Fisher. I would say that. You still would be looking at Jimbo Fisher right now. But you can't tell me that Connor isn't one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NCAA football. You can't sit up there and tell me that. That young man just hasn't been healthy for a full season. Understand what he's going up against, and which is Notre Dame, for crying out loud. But Notre Dame is coming here. We're not going there. The advantage lives in Connor's house, which is at Kyle Field. You know, you see this right there? That's where Connor is going to be at. This is where Notre Dame has to come to. It's a reason to why not only me, but guys out there as well are picking these guys here. It starts with that quarterback position, which is Connor Weigman. He's going to be that guy. I've gave him that title a long time ago when Jimbo went out there and got it. I've been gave him that title. Everybody else just had to see it, and they saw it when he got in against Ole Miss. Don't act like you didn't watch that game, because you all did, just like I did. It was a late night game. It was on Halloween. You know? And Connor went out there and balled out. Was the first and only freshman to rack up that many yards in the first game and have not only 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and over 350 passing yards. He continued to go. He got up in Auburn game, don't you get me wrong, and he was bad. He was very bad, but his receivers didn't help him. They did not. He couldn't play against the Florida game because he was sick. He came back the following game, which was against LSU, and he dogged. He dogged. So I'm going to say it once again. What are you guys not seeing in Connor that I'm seeing? I think you guys are acting blind to that. The only excuse that you guys continuously tell me is that Mike Elko is a new coach. Oh, he's a new head coach at a new program. Well, he's been doing it for 2 years. He done it with Raleigh Leonard. Didn't they go up there and beat? No. Didn't Clemson come to Duke and they beat them? He beat them with the same quarterback that Notre Dame has. Where's Mike Elko playing right now? Texas A&M. Where's Mike Elko playing that first game against Notre Dame? Kyle Field. Who has the better quarterback? For whatever reason, it's always Mike Elko now. He had the better quarterback against Clemson, against that phenomenal defense, and now he has the better quarterback against Notre Dame, against that phenomenal defense. How do you guys like to say it? The jokes write themselves. Well, I'm telling you this, the script writes itself. Texas A&M will win this game. They will win this game with the help of Connor Weigman and with the help of that offensive line, in which I feel like it's gotten better. You know, but it's a team effort. Now, he's going up against a stout defense. What does that mean? His wide receivers got to help him. His running backs got to help him. And his tight ends got to help him, in which I've already told you yesterday, that's going to be a weapon. All right? So, guys, that's all I have for you. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that Notre Dame is going to be a good defense, right? Because this is what I seen when I looked at some research from last year's defense. And this is what I didn't know because for whatever reason, I pretty much just scrolled past it. But this is what I didn't know. And this is what a lot of you guys act like you didn't know. Texas A&M had a top 40 defense last year. As bad as they were at times, Texas A&M still came away with a top 40 defense. Matter of fact, Texas A&M had the 37th best defense in all of college football. All right? So you guys like to brag about everybody else, but Texas A&M defense was okay. They went 7-6, don't you get me wrong. They had issues. But Texas A&M didn't have a bad defense. They were ranked number 37. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the passing yards allowed. Passing yards allowed, Texas A&M was ranked number 37. Notre Dame, though, was ranked number 3 in the country. So I take back what I said. So far as the total defense is concerned, in which, let me look this up here, because I just looked at it. So far as that total defense is concerned, Notre Dame was top 5 in the nation. Now, that's what I didn't know. And that's fine. And from my knowledge, they're returning almost everybody from their top 5 defense to come back this year. That's fine. That's fine. The point I'm getting at is this here, because I'm trying to look and see where Texas A&M defense was. Texas A&M had the 19th best total defense in all of college football. So why can't Texas A&M be the favorite like how they are? Right? Texas A&M defense was good. They were good. So I'm not understanding why the hype is pressing all over the Notre Dame, in which that's fine, give them the hype, because we don't need the hype right now. We're hyping that over there because Marcus Freeman has been there for a while. That's the only excuse that you guys can give me. Marcus Freeman has been there for a while, and he's a darn good defensive coordinator. I ain't hear you say head coach. I heard you say he's a darn good defensive coordinator. I told you just like I told you yesterday. Who's been in a game longer? Marcus Freeman or Mike Elko? At one point, wasn't Mike Elko at Notre Dame as a defensive coordinator? Just like Marcus Freeman was? Wasn't Notre Dame defense humming with Mike Elko as well? just like they did with Marcus Freeman. So, you know, I'm just trying to wrap my head around things. Also, this is Marcus Freeman, 3rd year as a head coach. This is Mike Elko's 3rd year as a head coach. Are you telling me that Marcus Freeman is a better coach than Mike Elko? The only difference is that Marcus Freeman got blessed with a blue blood program. Mike Elko didn't. He still has not gotten blessed with a blue blood program. But we want to build champions. We care less about the blue blood status. We want to build champions. And we want championships. Notre Dame has that already. However, Notre Dame hasn't seen one in a very long time. Texas A&M hasn't as well. We both want the same thing. Well, for the same agenda. Right? So, we're going to find out who that better defense is. But I think it's time for guys to stop disrespecting Texas A&M's defense. That's fine. You guys can kill me with all the hype, stuff like that. But I do think it's time for people to start respecting Texas A&M's defense. Are they going to get respect just in the first year? They could. However, they have to go out there and earn the respect in this game. That I do know, you know? So, but like I say, don't act like, you know, Texas A&M can't go out and do things just like Notre Dame can. All right? So, all I'm saying is that, and shout out to Bean Capetillo. I think we will show the world this Saturday. We casually have an amazing first year of new head coach. We do. But I think it's time for us to start showing everybody who Texas A&M is, who Texas A&M was when they joined the SEC. And I just primarily think it's time to get back to the basics. And that's what we're going to do. Recruiting is going to be there. We will never shy away from that. I love recruiting just as well as the next man. That's one thing we're going to stick to. However, we have to go out and win games. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. I love all of you. Hashtag Giggum. Please make sure if you guys are not subscribed that you are subscribing. Please make sure that you are subscribing. And please make sure that you're sending this out to a friend to tell another friend. And let's continue to make this podcast grow. All right. I love all of you guys. Once again, I'm ready for week 1 just as well as you guys. I will be back on tomorrow. I will not do anything on Thursday probably, but I should be back on Friday, maybe. If I'm not back on Friday, then I'll be back early Saturday morning. I do know that, of course, Thursday, my son has a game. This is his first football game to start the season. And then after that, Conroe High School has their first varsity football game, which is literally down the road from us at the home stadium. All right, so I love all of you guys. Once again, hey, if you guys want to meet me, hey, come to the Conroe High School football games. I love to meet all of you guys. But I love all of you guys. And once again, hashtag Eagle Max. Giggum.